Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shama and today I'm gonna be covering Isabella Guzman's story. And if you don't know who was Isabella, she is also famous as TikTok's famous murderer, or if you that also don't know, then there is also another viral video is going on, and that is a sweet but little bit psycho. And this is the girl who was known as sweet but little bit psycho. And after you know who was this girl, you're not gonna say she is sweet but little bit psycho. So before that, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon, so every time I upload a new video you will be notified immediately. So yeah, let's get started. So Isabella was a normal teenage girl and she was very average, and her mother and father were Yunmi and Robert. And when she was so young they both got separated, and later her mother married to another man whose name was Ryan. So Isabella was always been a rebellious child, and her behaviors got to that point that her mother had to send her to her biological father at the age of 7. Later, she again came back to her mother, and Isabella and her mother never went well, but they had to stay together, so they were just staying together. And her mother Yun was working in a studio, and after school even Isabella comes there to help her. And but she did not like those life because she always wanted a lavish, a better life than her mother was giving her. And people say that her mother was doing everything to make her happy, to make her satisfied and full, but she never been a satisfied person. She always used to complain about her life, about her financial conditions, about everything. She always used to break her mother's house rules, and she also used to sneak out boys to her room at night by backyard or back door. I think back door. I don't know, but they would be sneaking out through their back. And so many time even Yun had caught the boys and Isabella red-handed, but she never stopped. She never ever tried to respect her mother. The situation even got worse when Isabella lets her parents know that she was going to drop out from school, and the parents got really mad at her because she dropped out in a situation when she just had to study for just for 1 or 2 months and then she would be okay. But she just dropped out before the last exam, which was like they were just telling her that okay, if you don't want to do then don't do, but you should have waited for a little and you would be done with your studying. Why you need to drop now when you don't have to? You already have gone through the whole exam, the whole section. Now just you have to give one more exam and that's it. But she was like, nah, I'm gonna live. So from that day onwards, every day Isabella and Yun had to they always used to fight, always in a heated argument. Everything was so bad to the point even Isabella was sending her own mom threatening emails like, you will pay for it, you will have to make the things even, I will see you soon, such kind of threatening messages. And this got Yun so terrified that she was afraid of her own daughter, and she would never sleep alone, she would never stay in a particular room alone if there is her husband is not with her or near her, and she would not ever unlock her door. So it was that scary for Yun. The situation day by day went worse and worse and worse, and to the point when Isabella's mom even called police on her own daughter. And when police came, they couldn't really arrest her for threatening emails and all, because there was no such big crime happened. So they just said her that you shouldn't behave this way to your mom, and they just talked her out a little bit, and that's it. And the next day even Yun called her ex-husband Robert to come over to her house and to understand the situation and to make her understand what is she doing and what she was doing actually wrong. And Robert came over to the house and he took her to the backyard, and they both sat there. They had a conversation, and Robert tried to convince her that don't do this kind of thing with her mother, because you are already 18 and you are legally you can go out, and if she wants she can even kick you out of the house, because obviously you are already in a legal age 18, right? So he tried his best, and then he went on his way, and that's it. And Yun thought that this would make Isabella better, and but nothing happened actually like that. So after Robert went, Isabella went to her room and locked from inside, and she didn't open that for a long time. So Yun thought that I think the situation is now in under control. So she thought that after having dinner, she thought to go for a bath and then she will go to sleep. And at that time Ryan was having her dinner and also watching TV, and she went upstairs to take a bath. And Ryan was having his dinner, he heard a really loud thud, and then his wife was calling his name so frighteningly. So he ran upstairs, and when he ran upstairs he saw on the reflection of the washroom Isabella was pulling the washroom door with her back and then locked it. So he got really frightened, and he tried to bang on the door, but no one really opened the door. And then he was hearing a lot of thud, a lot of screams, a lot of banging and all. And then he saw to the ground, and that's when he saw a lot of blood of streams coming from the washroom, I mean the lower part of the washroom. And he ran downstairs and called 911. And as he was on the 911 call, he again ran up to the upstairs washroom, and then he tried to banging the door and all, and tried to stop Isabella, but Isabella was not listening to him. And after a lot of banging and all of a sudden the every sound was stopped, and he just heard one voice, and that was his wife's voice calling Jehovah, and which means God, I think. And that's when the door slightly opened, and from there came out Isabella holding the knife, and he was looking straight, not even looking to Ryan, and she just flew away from there. She went downstairs and got into the car and just flew. So then Ryan immediately went inside the washroom, and then he tried to give Pisha to his wife, but she was already gone. And then police came, and they searched the whole night for Isabella, but they didn't find her anywhere. And after I think 11 a.m., one person called to 911 and telling that I think there was a dead body in their driveway or in their garage parking lot or something. So the police went there, and they saw Isabella sleeping back of her car, and she was wearing a pink sports bra and shorts, and she was sleeping, and she was filled with blood, and that blood was her own mother's blood. It was not her. And the witnesses who saw her, they thought that it was a dead body, but actually she was sleeping. And a lot of police came undercover to see if the situation is under control, if there is any danger or not. And then later they arrested her there. And there was also a lot of evidence they found that linked to the crime, but it was never published in media or in public, so we don't know what are the evidences and all. But she got arrested, and then started her trial, and this crime happened in 2013. So at first it was reported that there was 79 stab wounds, but later the police found out 151 stab wounds and a lot of abuse by a baseball bat which was found near Yoon's body. So it was clear that she was been abused and also brutally murdered by her own daughter. So the trial started, and she was charged with one count of first degree murder and 2 counts of violent assault. So she showed into the court, and that's when the videos and photos were been taken, and that's the videos and photos that are also being used in the TikTok videos now. So her attorney pleads her not guilty by the reason of insanity, and judge accepted her plea, and she had been sentenced indefinitely mental institution, which means it's not clear when she is gonna come back to the society again. And it can be a week, it can be a month, it can be a year, and it can be never. So we don't know when she gonna be removed from that area. But anyway, she told her psychiatrist that she did not kill her mother. She killed Cecilia, who was in the world to kill the humanity. So she had to kill the woman just to save the humanity. And that's also 151 times, really. A psychiatrist said that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and tendencies of schizophrenia, auditory and visual hallucination and delusions. So she was actually seeing and hearing a lot of people that were not present. I mean, it's kind of a mental disorder. So they used this thing in the favor of her, and it actually worked for her. But a lot of people has this question that if she was delusional or if she was hallucinating how she killed 151 times. I mean, she stabbed, literally stabbed on the face and neck, and that was 151 times. And when her body was actually found, she was not even recognizable. So how she actually killed her, that's it was not even recognizable. It actually is something that we don't know. But I think, I mean, I have a lot of doubts on the plea. I mean, I'm not telling that it's not true, it cannot be true or anything like that, but 151 times though, if someone, I don't know, I mean, I'm so confused. Okay, you tell me what is actually the case. Okay, it's up to you, and let me know in the comment what is your thoughts in this case, the on the plea actually, and if it is actually some kind of mental disorder that she was going on, or it was actually happened in the rage or anger. Let me know. Bye.